Yo, 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 what's going on, faithfuls? We got some breaking news. The Nothing But Niners crew is back, man. We got to keep it up. I told you guys. I told you. When we hear something, we're coming. All right? So check out the website, guys, www.nothingbutniners.com. That's where you're going to find all the articles, breaking news stories, breaking news articles, some articles concerning the team and other aspects and things like that. And here is something that we have to discuss. I got my man Nick. I got my man Tony here. I am 49ers Mike _NF on Twitter. Nick is 49er Faithful 365 on Twitter. And Tony is NJ Niner Fan 499 on Twitter. Our website is nothingbutniners.com. There you're going to see our Twitter page. It's nothing but 9ERS. It's the same as the Snapchat. You guys can also find the Instagram and the Facebook pages. Those are Nothing But Niners spelled all the way out. Guys, we got some breaking news. And I'm damn excited to bring it to everybody, man. Nick, what's going on, baby? How you feeling over there?
What's up, Mikey? What's up, Mikey? Yo, look, I'm super ecstatic about this deal for the main reason that John Lynch pulled off. John Lynch pulled off a deal to give away a 2020 second rounder instead of this year's second rounder or this year's third rounder. So we saved that draft capital, and it's the supposed deal is 5 years, $87.5 million. That's average about $17.5 million a year. So with that being said, it depends on how Parag goes out and writes his contract, and we go from there. But I have all faith in Parag in this. Could you imagine drafting Nick Bosa now at 2 and having Dee Ford and Bosa on the other end?
Yeah, man. He vanished. Is Tony still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
Oh, okay. He blew on my screen. I apologize. Tony, man, what's going on? The Niners traded 2020 second-round pick for Dee Ford and a contract of 5 years up to $87.5 million. Up to is very, very key right there because
that's
you saw what.
Word.
Oh yeah, break it down for us, brother. Let us know how you feeling about this trade, man.
First of all, I saw it and I jumped up off my couch. They were in negotiation to acquire Dee Ford from Kansas City. I was kind of nervous because I don't know what the compensation would be, going back to Kansas City to get Dee Ford in San Francisco. But when I found out it was going to be a second-round pick in 2020, it's a home run. Because next year, you keep adding these pieces to this roster, and we still have our draft capital intact for 2019. That pick's going to be at the bottom of round 2. I'm good with that. You have the best, and I'm going to say it, the best speed rusher available on the market we just acquired for a 2020 second-round pick. The contract, yeah, it shows big. I don't care what the contract says because like we did with Kwan Williams, let's see what the details when they come out, when the team releases it and the breakdown. But listen, 5 years, $87.5 million. Let's go.
Not only that, you look at, and maybe this is what you meant to say, but Quan Alexander got his contract today, and everyone's flipping out about that. And you saw that he's got to make the roster. Half of it's not really real. It's a lot of incentives and workout bonuses and things like that, and game-to-game incentives and things like that. You have to do those kind of contracts when you have players who have a frequent injury history. And so both of these guys have that. But we saw what Dee Ford can do when he all right, and he finished with the highest check this out. For the PFF lovers are gonna love this stat. At least I thought they would. He finished with the highest pressure rate at his position of all outside linebackers going after the quarterbacks. Forget the sacks for a second. And he had double-digit sacks. Forget the sacks for a second. He finished with the highest pressure rate. That means that down in and down out, when they snapped the ball, he was getting after the quarterback. How can you not like that? And then this year's draft class is intact. And let me tell you how the 49ers play emotional games with everybody, okay? This came right on the heels of the breaking news that OBJ was being traded to the Browns. And 49er fans were flipping out about that. They're probably still crying about it. And when I saw the compensation that the Browns had to give up to acquire him, I thank God that John Lynch wasn't dumb enough to do that. I literally thank God that John Lynch wasn't dumb enough to give all of that up to get a wide receiver when our biggest need is clearly on the defensive side of the ball.
Hey, just a little FYI, breaking news from that whole OBJ trade. Now he wants a new contract.
Yeah, And that should be expected because Antonio Brown got his contract renegotiated, and Brown became the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. Now Odell Beckham's going to request the same thing.
Yeah, he already requested it when he came on NFL Network and told whatchamacallit that that's what he wants to do. He said AB got a new contract and that money, and that's what I'm going to do as well.
We dodged some bullets, bro.
Yeah, we definitely dodged bullets because I see everybody hating that OBJ, but Niners fans got to understand that we're not one player away. We're not a wide receiver away. And this defense is needed to be worked on. We got it. We hit linebacker now. We hit edge rush on the one side. Hopefully we can get Bosa or a Josh Allen on the other side, which definitely boosts our up 7 front. And then now we need to, if we don't do safety help, I mean, I think we'll go safety, maybe a Pierre Desser signing, maybe. But definitely, I'm excited about this move.
Now we want to thank everybody for checking us out here tonight. If you guys are our regulars, you guys are probably expecting us to go live in about an hour or so, so we can do our position breakdown. I don't know if that's still going to happen tonight, but we got this breaking news video, so that's why we're definitely going to jump on here. And as you guys can see, I'm still working, even though I'm repping for the Niners. Okay, while I'm working, I'm on the clock, still repping, but. We want to thank you guys for checking us out. If we don't get this position breakdown done tonight, we will get it to you guys soon this week. I promise you guys. But my schedule's a little hectic, so we'll see what happens with everyone else. I can tell you this, though, about this trade versus the Odell Beckham trade. And I know you can't compare them. It's not apples to apples. It's not even apples to oranges. It's two completely different beasts. But what I will say is this. I put out a tweet. I copied it from Matt. I don't know if you guys can pull that up really quick, but the value of the trades. There's a chart that GMs around the NFL use, and each draft pick is slotted a specific point value. Okay, the Browns gave up their first round pick, which was pick 17, and that was valued at 1,040 points. And they gave up their third round pick, which was valued at like 720 points, and they also gave up Jabril Peppers, and where he was picked was somewhere around in the first round. It made the total that they gave up. It made the total between all three things that they gave up: the first round pick, the third round pick, and the player, around 1,760 or something like that. And then if you look at what the Niners' value is at the number 2 pick just by itself, just the number 2 pick, it's over 2,000. So there's value in where you pick in the draft, and the Niners would have been giving up way too much, even to do the number 2 pick for OBJ. Then we're not picking in the first round at all. That would not have been a good decision, because like Nick was saying, we're not just a wide receiver away. So I want to put that all behind us. I want to talk about Dee Ford, man. I can't begin to tell you guys how excited I am. I mean, either one of you guys have anything like to talk about with Dee Ford, because this is huge for the 49ers. How old is Dee Ford? Nick and I just did a whole debate.
28. He's gonna be 28, I think.
Nick, who won the debate, bro?
Well, I won the debate, but you won the overall.
Okay. That's what we did with Robbie Gould. Because you were like, oh, we tagged Robbie Gould. I won.
Yeah, no. Either way, like I said on that video, this helps our team no matter what. We were just kind of arguing back and forth as to what the compensation was, but we also set a third round pick, so both of us were wrong. It was a next year pick, which is even better, and takes me away from worrying that, oh, we're giving up draft capital this year, because we're not giving draft capital up this year. We're giving it up next year, and who knows? We could finish far next year, and it could end up being a late round second pick.
The potential to move down this draft, like in the second or the third round, and pick up, picks for next year to replace what we gave up for Ford. But like you said previously, this team has the potential to address the need that's been a huge need for this defense, and that's pass rush. We got the best speed rusher available in free agency, and now we have the potential to get the alleged best pass rusher in the college draft. Now you pair those two up, And the only way you're going to do this is like you saw Green Bay today throw money at 2 outside linebackers, 2 pass rushers. They, in my opinion, they overpaid for both. But if that's what it is, in free agency, you have to overpay. So now you have a guy coming in on a rookie contract, and now you paid for Dee Ford. So now you still have flexibility to add to this defense or offense, whatever way you prefer. So right then and there, this team's ahead of the game. So at 2, they take Bosa. At 3, they can take a receiver, trade back, maybe trade back up until the end of the first round if someone falls.
Absolutely, man.
And that's what they're in a really, really good spot. That was a great move by John Lynch. But the one thing that concerns me about Dee Ford is, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Pass rush, he's the best that was available. If they run at him, he struggles versus the run versus a bigger tackle. And you saw that with Trent Brown. You saw it in the playoffs.
That's where the wide 9 comes into play. Correct. That's where wide 9 comes into play because linebackers will shoot that gap. Yeah. So it helps out. It's almost perfect, bro. It's almost perfect because now linebackers are filling that gap if they're running over there. Come on, man. This is great. This is great, man. This is it's
great. I'm not trying to be negative, Nancy. I'm just keeping it real. He's not the run defender.
Right. And that was one of Nick's points when we did the debate, is that Houston is the better all-around player because he plays the run better. But, you're not going to get them all. We're okay with playing the run. We need this edge. Oh, man. This is good stuff. And like you said, we are still in position to get Bosa. You can pair those guys together for the next 5 years. Literally for the next 5 years. That's the contract that they give them.
And it doesn't cost you a significant pay. Bosa's contract is Bosa's contract. You pick up the 50-year option, it's a wrap. He's got it for 5 years.
That's not even counting the tag.
Yeah, you're right. So, and another thing I just wanted to bring up, with those 2 guys coming off the edge, right and left side, that's going to cause everything for all the quarterbacks to step up in the pocket. Right? And Chris Buckner, DJ Jones, Solomon Thomas, Eric Armstead, who stays on the roster. Whoever they play on that interior, they're going to eat. They're going to make their sacks.
Oh, yes, baby. Oh, yes. And listen, we could have added Odell Beckham Jr., right? And all right, maybe the Niners put up another 10 points a game, right? But if that defense can't stop people, what good would that have been? So I love this move. I am glad that John Lynch stood firm. I'm glad that he had his morals intact and he was focused and focused. There was a plan. This is what I will say. There was a plan. Right now, we've addressed the line, the defensive line. We've addressed right behind them with the linebacker position. Now there's the safety position. I know a lot of 49er fans out there are hoping for Earl Thomas. We heard that he's in talks with the Browns now, right, Tony?
Yeah, the Browns. Yeah, the Browns.
Yeah. I think that the front office's goal this year was to rebuild this defense. Get this defense up to par, and Kyle can handle the rest on the other side. We saw a report that they were interested in Jermaine First, the wide receiver from the Jets, who played in Seattle. He's a great Z receiver, high ceiling, high risk, low risk, high reward type signing. 1 year, 2 year deal. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to bring this guy in. He's not afraid to go over the middle. He makes crazy catches. Just someone to bring in to compete. And I'm not saying we neglect him in the draft now, but that's just a body to bring in. Another guy that's being reported that you're interested in is Pierre Desser, another guy I mentioned. I mentioned him last year before he exploded with the Colts. So there are a couple more moves I think that are going to be made, but again, it's all depending how this contract's worded for 2019. And then they can go off the tax rate with that.
I can tell you this. This is what I can tell you about the 2019 thing with this deal. Without seeing any of it, you can expect a big signing bonus for a player to put away and agree to put away the guaranteed money and a franchise tag. He's going to want to recoup that money almost immediately. And you do that with a signing bonus and a roster bonus if healthy. There's no reason he shouldn't be able to pass his physical. So a lot of this is going to be a big bonus year with a very, very low salary cap implication from the first year of the deal. That's my anticipation of it. And now because of his frequent injury history, there's going to be saves in there also.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead, Tony.
No, good. I'm good.
No, go ahead.
And that's why I think there's a couple moves that are going to be made, more additional to these, because they're keeping the cap numbers down for 2019. They're front-loaded. They're giving them bonuses that's it doesn't affect the 19 cap. So we addressed we got the best pure speed rusher. We got the fastest linebacker.
And just off the bat, and I hate to be this guy, but if you want to get rid of a guy like Cassius Marsh, you're saving another $5 million right there.
Exactly. I was
just like that.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. It's fine. Because now, like you said, Cassius Marsh, Ford is playing Cassius Marsh role, speed. So Marsh, I mean, I'm sure they're going to keep him around a little bit until they get through the draft, but you're going to see them. I think they have a couple more moves lined up. I don't think they're done. I mean, it's calm right now. There was a little lull, and they bounced with this. They'll get quiet a little bit, and they might hit you with another thing. If it's not Earl Thomas, I think they can look at Clinton Dix. It's not going to cost them an arm and a leg to bring in. But I think you do need to add somebody to that secondary, both safety and corner.
And see, I'm a little different, man. The only safety that I would bring in is Earl Thomas. If it's not him, I say we hope that Colbert learned from his sophomore slump and he gets back to that rookie year form that we saw and we fell in love with. What made him special and made him a starter. He earned that nickname, the Punisher. He had incredible speed, man. He was taking perfect angles. No, his angles weren't perfect. Let me correct myself. His angles weren't perfect, but his speed was something that I underestimated. I would see him take angles, and I'm like, oh man, he over pursued there. And then boom, he got there right away. Like it's crazy to see how he was able to still make tackles and make hits. And we got to hope that he returns to that form. I'm okay with that. If it's not, I don't know if I want to high Clinton Dix. Nick, there you are, man. I'm dying to hear from you, bro. You've been kind of quiet over there. What's up, man?
Yeah, because I can't hear anything anybody's saying. Like, it's the background noise. I can't hear like what Tony's saying, so I'm not sure. And I was trying to get something else taken care of. Oh, there we go. No, like I said before, I'm super excited. He isn't as good as Justin Houston as an all-around player in the run, but pass rush wise, he's a dominant guy. Like you said, the wide nine should make a huge difference. Having him next to DeForest Buckner's only going to put up DeForest Buckner's numbers as well as Dee Ford. You can't double them both on both sides. I haven't checked them out in coverage yet. I'm going to watch some tape on them tonight. I'm also probably going to put a highlight video together for everybody so you know who Dee Ford is. But overall, I mean, the trade for a 2020 pick blew me away. I love that part of it. He gives us something that we need in defense. We needed a pass rush. Why not upgrade at both edges, which we can do. The Quan Alexander, you're going to have DeForest Buckner. Just imagine this line. Ford, Buckner, I guess AA or Jones, whoever's in the middle, and Bosa on the other end or Josh Allen. One of those two at the top. That's pretty sick. That really, and then you have a fast linebacker in Alexander and Fred Warner. And who else knows what else we put in that linebacking core. As for the safety, if it's not Earl Thomas, then we just roll with what we have for right now. I could see Trey Boston maybe, but I'm not sure how well of a fit he would be here. Obviously, he's not going to cost as much as Earl Thomas. So, but overall, man, I'm impressed with what John Lynch did. He didn't pull a crazy trigger on the OBJ trade, costing us too much. He's playing this out as in we're playing not only for now, but for the future. You're not futuring away. Believe it or not, the Cleveland Browns are closer. That pickup of OBJ with Jarvis Landry on the other end, Baker Mayfield, Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Their defenses there with Khalil Mack. I mean, not Khalil Mack. Myles Garrett. And their defense is really good. And if they pick up a Earl Thomas that covers their safety position that they just messed up with Jabril Peppers. But overall, I think it was too much for OBJ. I tried to pull up your tweet. I couldn't find it about the differences. I know number 2 pick is 2,600. Number 7 was 1,600. So I'm sure 17 is way lower than that. But yeah, overall, I'm excited, man.
Now I feel like no one could hear anything that Tony and I were saying. So I feel like we need to repeat a lot of what was said. If and I didn't know that, you guys should have said something to me. I would have been trying to mute in between conversations.
I was trying to send you a text over the thing, but I know you can't see it. So I have to keep switching the camera back and forth too, because you're picking up when you're talking. Tony.
Yeah.
You there? So, I mean, if you can just tell me a little bit of what you said, because I couldn't hear you, so then I can respond to that.
Well, basically, he out of everybody that was available in the free agency market, he's the best fit for the wide 9. He's the best pure speed edge that was available. I also like the ability to pair him with Nick Bosa going forward. You're going to have Bosa on a minimum contract for 5. I mean, not a minimum, but an affordable contract for 5 years. After we pick up their option, and then the year after that, we potentially 6, we can franchise them. But with these two, you're gonna have speed off one edge, speed off the other edge. Ford he has a multiple variety of pass rushes. He could bull rush you, he could speed rush you, he could dip and rip you, he could spin on you. He offers a lot. So he's not just a pure run the arc guy. He offers different moves. Now, the most important thing is when you're talking about a wide 9 is you have guys pinning their ears back and coming on an angle to get to the quarterback. So what does that do? Naturally, the quarterback steps up in the pocket. And when he steps up in the pocket, he's going to see Buckner, Armstead, Solomon Thomas, DJ Jones, whoever, if they decide to add another piece to the puzzle in the interior. But, I mean, this is a big step to improving this defense. I think our front office's goal was to improve this defense and let Kyle just worry about the offense. But, going forward, I mean, listen, I know I was kind of like, whoa, when I saw the Kwon Alexander contract. I'm sure people are like, whoa, when they're seeing this Ford contract. But listen, man, everyone was quick to friggin' rip the Niners. You had Chad Forbes blasting the Niners as the worst contract in history, da-da-da-da-da. Man, listen, we have Parag Marate doing the contracts. Let the details come out, and then you say your piece and make your judgment or grade the move, whatever you want. His contract is basically guaranteed 1 year, Kwon Alexander. He plays this year. They gave him a fat bonus. They're talking about it on NFL Network right now. They gave him a fat bonus, and then April 1st, 2020, the team could walk away with him with a $3 million hit. That's it. So that last number, that don't mean shit. So I think the 49ers fans need to step back and really okay, look, we signed this guy. Hold on, this guy's talking.
Oh. Yeah, so Kwon Alexander's contract is essentially a 1-year prove-it deal. If he gets cut in 2020, I think the contract was like $14.5 million this year up front with like 1.5 of a base salary cap hit for this year. If you cut him, I think the highest was his last year in his contract at 12.6. So what annual base salary? So if he works out, you got a great deal. You got a young stud linebacker paired next to Fred Warner, and for overall in next year, the linebacking core is going to be even higher in price. CJ Mosley just got 17.5 a year. So we're getting him for less than 12.5, a little more than 12.5 if he completes his contract after next year. If he doesn't, it was a hit and a miss. It was well worth it. It's $3 million. Take the loss, move on.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry, I just stopped talking, but they were just showing highlights of him, and they just showed him single-handedly beat Joe Staley, and Joe Staley didn't know what to do. He just ran right around Joe Staley, gave him like a quick jab step, and ran around him and took Garoppolo down. And I mean, this is what this guy offers you. He is a pure threat. Every time a quarterback drops back, he's coming to get you. Listen, like I was saying before I stopped, every 49er fan needs to take a step back right now. If we continue to sign people, if we add an Earl Thomas, if we sign a Pierre Desir, if we pick up this Jermaine Kearse, the receiver from the Jets, let them announce it. Let them put the contract out. Then look for the breakdown. Look at the real numbers of the contract. Then you can make your comment, and then you could grade it. But don't jump right off the bat. Oh, my God, that's too much money. Let them do their job. These guys, Marate's a friggin' genius with these contracts. Okay? Yeah, you know, we're not free and clear. I'd rather take a $3 million hit than take a $40 million hit or a $20 million hit in negative. And then that's how you screw your cap up. Like back in the day with Carmen Policy, they used to backload these contracts and not put opt-outs. So when they would cut them, they would get hit with all that money. There was a point in time the 49ers couldn't even afford to sign a straight free agent. They were pulling people off the freaking scrap heaps. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's a solid move to build this defense. And, you know, we already added a new will linebacker in Quan Alexander. Congratulations. I can't wait to see you in the red and gold. Hope that Neil heals up fine. You know, that's two big pieces, two different levels addressed on this defense. Now we're going to go forward. And then don't forget, man, number 2 overall, you're staring at Bosa. You're staring at Allen. You're staring at Williams. You're staring at premier talent. You're blue chippers. And if they decide to trade, they trade. But you are in control because I think the rookie quarterback, he's going to Arizona.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But listen, you guys keep going. I got to run. I am at my patient's house, and they're standing at the door. So I will talk to you guys later, man. Guys, we got Dee Ford, baby. We got Dee Ford. I'm excited. We got all of our picks this year. Go Niners, baby. I'm out of this motherfucker. Y'all be safe.
All right. Tony, I got one question for you.
So,
all right. So now that we didn't trade any of our compensation this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
At number 2, would you be willing to trade down now that you have a pass rusher and try to acquire that pick and this year more picks, or are you just taking best player available?
It depends. I mean, you can never say no to a trade down because if there's a team that falls in absolutely love with somebody, Williams, Allen, Bosa, and they absolutely are in love with them, they're going to pay you a boatload of equity coming to your way. I'm not looking to trade out of the top 6, top 7. No. Definitely, I'm not going lower. And if we do go lower, it's going to be, you know, you go to 6 and then you trade back again. I'm not jumping from 2 to 20. There's no way in hell I'm doing that. I would consider, if it's a good package, I would consider no lower than 6. But we're not doing that because the Giants aren't going to move up, so I'll say 5. But on the other hand, you have a potential to add a pass rusher to this defense. And like I said earlier, I don't know if you heard me, this position has been killing this team for years. And we finally have an opportunity. We added Dee Ford on one end. Now you have an opportunity to add Bosa. Your defensive ends are solidified for, like I said before, 5 to 6 years. No questions asked. Knock on wood. They stay healthy and they continue to prosper and play it the way they've shown. But it's got to blow me away to move out of that 2 spot. It has to.
Yo, so Niner Joe Empire in the chat room, he just said something I love. He said D40 Niners. Like, it was pretty good. I thought that was cool. Big shout out to Niner Joe for that. I'm going to have to start using that. D Ford, and then with a Y under Ford, and then Niners. D40 Niners. It's pretty badass. I love it.
Make a shirt off of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a D49ers MB Niners shirt for that, and I'll have to cut you some profit. Look, overall, like you said, this position has haunted us for years and years and years. Even with Justin Smith and Aldon Smith after because even the Aldon Smith stuff that went down, you know, we lost out on that. So that's a haunt. Even though, you know, I'm not going to get into that whole conversation, but it's kind of like Justin Smith and Aldon Smith with Dee Ford and DeVar's Buckner now. So it's gonna get us that excited again. I think one or the other. Now, you may only see a really good year out of one, but more than average year out of the other. What I mean by that, because if you're taking up the double team, on DeForest Buckner, Dee Ford is going to eat. If you push out and you start worrying about Dee Ford, then DeForest Buckner should eat with more one-on-ones.
Well, they double team Ford is going to be from a tight end or a back coming out of the backfield chipping him. But I just think he's so damn fast, and his upper body strength and his hands. You could chip him with a back all you want. He's still going to get there because you saw it on film.
Yeah, and that's a reason. And that's another reason why. I mean, I know we can get compensation back if we trade that pick 2 to 10 or something like that in that range. I see a lot of people saying go 2 to 17 with the Giants, like get the Giants 17th round or first pick. But I don't think they're going to trade up now because they just got rid of their receiver. They're not going to go after a quarterback now.
First of all, trading with the Giants after they went to Cleveland with Odell.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck the Giants. How about that? I'm not beat. You had an opportunity to move up to 2. Okay, whatever. It is what it is. I'm over it. But, I mean, I'm not going to do business with them after they pretty much hung up the phone and said, oh, we're going with Cleveland because they're giving us a first rounder. Okay. So don't call us when you fall in love with a guy saying, oh, we want to come up. Sorry, guy. We're in love with Bosa. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Luke Walsh said, trade the 2 for Raiders 4 plus 35 plus 20 second. At 4, choose on of Bosa, Williams, or Allen.
See, that's something I would consider going to 4. But if they come up, I don't think they're going to come up for – they're coming up for Bosa or Quentin
or
Williams.
Allen.
I think Bosa or Quentin Williams for them.
Yeah. Either way, if Bosa is gone and Arizona takes it, this is a situation where I wouldn't be against taking, like I said before, with Josh Allen, is because we addressed the need in free agency as an edge guy, and now we can get somebody who has speed just like Quan Alexander does on the other side and use him on that side in this wide 9. It'll benefit him. We talked about this before, me and Mike. Would you use Josh Allen as a Sam in a wide 9?
No.
Mike just dropped out again. All right, so
I mean, I don't know. I have to think about that. I don't know, because in a wide 9, instead of your linebackers being, you have your 2 middle and then your Sam is on the outside of the defensive end. Now he's on the inside of the wide 9 and of the 9 technique. So it's kind of like you have 3 stack backers going straight across. I don't know. I mean, could he do it? Yes. I don't think he cannot do it. I think he could play the run. He could, he has the agility and speed to go, on like angle pursuits and make a play on a stretch run or a screen pass, whatever like that. But I just feel he's better as a true Sam and like a true 43 front, like, on the line of scrimmage. That's where I think he is, because then he can man up with a tight end.
Right. And the only reason I asked that is because he's really good with coverage. So he would be a good coverage linebacker. He can fill gaps. It's just a matter of if he can – he's so much all gas. It's just a matter of how will he be able to determine run recognitions and pass recognitions and things like that. So I think that he's an athletic enough to do it, but I just like his coverage skills. So that's why I was just asking. You can still put Josh Allen as the other outside linebacker defensive end.
I agree with that. You could definitely put him as a wide 9.
Yeah, you could definitely use him there. I was just asking if you would consider that fact of using him as a Sam. Obviously, I would rather have Bosa on the other end, along with Dee Ford on the other, and a rotation of Buckner obviously in there, a rotation of Solomon, Eric Armstead, and DJ Jones on the inside. That's a great defensive front right there.
No, it is. You're right. They built a very, very, very solid foundation on that front line.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it. I'm not sure. Like Mike said, guys, it's great news today. I know we missed out on OBJ, but for the price, I don't think it was worth it. That's my opinion only. But this is a great trade for John Lynch. We didn't give up any draft capital this year. We gave up a 2020 for next year. Supposed contract 5 years up to $87.5 million, which is what pass rushers are getting right now. You got to figure he was on the tag this year. So we got rid of the tag, got him in here for 5 years. Like Tony said, if we get a Nick Bosa or whoever we draft at number 2, if we draft the edge guy, we're going to have him for 5 years, possibly 6 if we franchise tag for that 6th year. So now you got your 2 edge rushers in place. You're gonna extend DeForest Buckner in 2020. Probably you might even do it the middle of the season next year, or the end of the season next year. And then you got Eric Armstead playing on $9.5 million this year. You got a young kid in DJ Jones. You got a young kid in Solomon Thomas. This line is just going to grow together. Not saying that they can't add more pieces.
And let's not forget, you still have the who's the rookie at Street? You have the
Contavious Street, Ronald Blair.
You have Blair, Taylor. You have all these guys. That's why I really don't think Quentin Williams is in play here. There's a mass overload of the same type of player on that interior line. Honestly, I think one of them might get packaged in the deal to maybe move up in the draft or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Armstead, now you still have Marsh on the roster. You still have Dakota Watson. Now they added a speed guy. One of those guys are going, if not both, because that's that guy. That guy's filling that. The only reason why I would say maybe they do keep a Marsh around is if they don't address another guy. They don't bring another edge rusher in, like speed guy, in the draft or free agency. I'm not saying Bosa. Bosa will be on the roster if he's at 2. I'd be surprised, but like a depth piece. Like if they grab one in round 4, they say, "Oh, we'll take this guy who we could project as a 3rd down rusher." That's what I'm saying. So I think potentially both those guys could be gone.
All right, so here I'm going to give you a scenario real quick, and then we'll end this. The Niners are at 2. Bosa's gone. Arizona takes Bosa. You're our GM of the NB Niners, so I want to know what you're doing. Now that we added Dee Ford on one side, what are you doing with that number 2 pick? What are you trying to do?
I want to – if Bosa's gone, it would either be best player available, which in my opinion would be best player available for what our needs are, not best player available on the board. I'm going to do best player available for what our needs are, and I would listen to the phones and try to find a trade down scenario.
So who do you think the best player for our needs are at 2? If we have to pick, nobody comes up to trade. Who are you taking?
I would probably go Allen.
You go Josh Allen?
I'd probably go Josh Allen, but honestly, I would try to trade down. And you see, now that we added Ford, I don't want to add what's his name because they're very similar type rushers in size and weight. I was thinking about the guy from Florida State, Burns, but I would probably I don't know. I would have to see what the deal is, what deals come in. I don't know. That's tough, man. That's a tough call.
All right, so if Bosa's there, are you taking him?
Yes.
Okay.
I would take to solidify our defensive ends.
All right, now let me just ask you one more question. Now we got 2 edge guys. What are you doing with the 36 overall pick?
Receiver.
Receiver. I agree. A lot of people are on Metcalf. A lot of people are big on Metcalf. Metcalf's not going to be in the 2nd round. I don't think we waste a number 2 overall pick. I don't think we trade down far enough. Somebody comes up that far to give away a boatload for us to draft him late in the 1st round, mid 1st round. So I don't see DK Metcalf coming here. So I would just get rid of that. But I think
there could be scenarios where there's a player dropping in the 1st round.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're getting to like the low 20s, mid to low 20s. That's when you pick up the phone and say, "All right, hi, I'm John Lynch. I want to come up and get this guy. What will it cost? And then, that's up to you at that point,
Yeah. So you think wide receiver is if we don't sign a corner in this draft, do you think wide receiver is more important at number 2 than it is at corner?
Yes, because I think wide receiver, if we're going to add a wide receiver, it's not going to be like the Terrell Williams or the Golden Tate. It's going to be like the Javon Curse, the mid-level guy to low-tier guy to add a body. Because don't forget, Garcon's gone now. So now we need somebody to come in and take his spot to compete on a roster spot. And all our receivers are either X's or slot guys. We don't have a Z guy. So it's probably going to be someone like a Z wide receiver, like your Curses. I had the guys' names written down. Hold on.
You're probably going to laugh at me, but you know who I've been saying I would think would fit the Niners system really well is Donte Moncrief.
Yeah, I mean he's a possibility, but he's probably going to look for another big payout for 1 year, a 1 year prove it, and he didn't do shit last year.
I'd rather have him than whatchamacallit, though.
Who?
The first guy you said. I just
Curse.
Yeah, Jermaine Curse.
Well, the reason why I named Jermaine Curse because you'll get
because there was rumors about it. I'm just saying,
they're interested in him.
Yeah, I would rather have a Moncrief than a Curse.
Well, now you're talking about 2 different price tags.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. You're not going to get that guy that wants the $12 million for a 1 year deal. You're going to get the guy maybe you can get for $5-6 million. You come in, you give him an opportunity to play. And I'm talking about Z guys like Chris Conley from the Chiefs, Jermaine Curse, Jordan Matthews. Funchess got picked up. Mike's guy, Kevin White. So yeah, I mean, that's the type of player you're looking at. Curse is 29 years old. He's not looking for, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we'll call my eye with Curses all the crazy plays he made versus the Niners in the playoff days with Jim Harbaugh. He was always making, huge, impactful catches and plays. So
yeah, that was before Doug Baldwin's days, like big time days.
Like Golden Tate would be the perfect Z, but I don't think Golden Tate. I think Golden Tate's on his down trajectory of his career now. So, I mean, I'm not saying his play is 100% dropped off, but if you're talking about a guy that wants one more payout, so he's going to be looking for 4 or 5 years. So now you're taking him into like 36 years old, 34 years old. So how is he going to be? Is he going to traject up? I don't think so. Or is he going to go down? I think he's going to go down.
Right. Yeah. Guys, I think it's an exciting day to have the Niners addressing a need that we need. I think everybody needs to cut some slack to John Lynch, and there are things that he does wrong. I absolutely agree. But I think this is good for the organization, man. You got a young guy who's the back injuries worry me a little bit, but you're paying a guy exactly what it costs right now in the pass rush type of contract. So you get him for 5 years. He's had double-digit sacks, I think, just in 2016, but he's had a decent year, 7.5, 8, things like that. If you want to see our debate with myself and Mike, we did that last Sunday, I believe. It's on our channel. Just make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. But other than that, I don't really have anything else. We're going to get out of here. I may jump on and do a positional breakdown tonight. But Mike is on call, so I'm not sure if he'll be joining. But anyway, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button wherever it is, left-hand corner, right-hand corner. And that's my left and right. So your left, my right. Anyway, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you check out nothingbutniners.com. Check out our social media avenues, Twitter and Snapchat, nothing but 9ERS. Facebook and Instagram, nothing but Niners. Website is nothingbutniners.com. Hit us up on Twitter. We do shows on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Normally, we did a show last night, so we may not do tonight. Not sure yet. Just keep your notifications set for all of our breaking news because we'll always bring you breaking news anytime the Niners do anything. We will jump on here. Other than that, I don't got anything else. Tony, you got anything? You're excited?
Just keep your eyes peeled, guys. You might hear some more news. Maybe not tonight. tomorrow everything becomes official at 4:00. You might hear like a guy under the radar they were negotiating with. Just keep your eyes open.
Yeah, keep your eyes peeled, guys. And I'm going to sign us out like I always do. Make sure, like I said, make sure you hit that notifications just in case we go live tonight or anytime we bring breaking news. Your Nothing But Niners crew is here. I know Wayne just put out an article on nothingbutniners.com. Go over there and check that out. Make sure you share it, comment, leave him your feedback. Let him know what you think as to what he thinks. And keep it calm and cool and collective. And above all else, stay faithful. We out of here.